Welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, you can join the conversation via the hashtag #RealTalkWithTamima on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Let me know what your views, comments, and feedback are on today's topic. Now, my next guest is Julie Kebene. Julie has worked abroad, and she says for her, the experience was not exactly what she had left this country when she thought she's going to work abroad in search of. So, Julie, please tell me, because it says here that you worked as a housemaid in Dubai.
Yes.
So leaving Kenya, is that the job that you knew you're going to do?
Yes, that's what I knew I'm going to do. Because I had a friend, she had come back from Dubai, and she had come for like a month for vacation, and she told me, my boss' brother wants a housemaid, and if you're ready to go, I'll go back with you. I told her I don't have passport or birth certificate or anything. They say, and then she said, no, I'll talk with them and then they can sponsor you. So she said, after a few days, she said, oh, actually, they say they want like 3 people. It's 3 families, they want 3 people, and then all are brothers. So I told her, okay, I'll need to sell the few things that I had for the business. I used to sell some shoes and clothes and kitenges from...
So you were self-employed?
Yeah, but it was a small one, and it was seasonal. At that time, it was low season. So people used to take on credit, and they don't pay back. You have to follow them. And then I was like, let me go there and try my luck.
So this looked like greener pastures?
Yeah, because she told me they pay from 30,000. That's what she told me, because it's a big family, and they provide everything like accommodation and food and stuff.
So what was her working experience? Because I'm sure that you had to reference, you wanted to go work in Dubai, so what's your working experience like? So what was her working experience like, your friend?
I didn't even ask, because I saw like she was dressing so well and she had money to spend, and she has come home for vacation for like a month. But she didn't tell me the truth, what happened. First,
and you didn't ask?
I didn't ask.
You just saw that she's doing well in life.
In life, and she's going back there. I didn't know that she was from another different family, and she has fought there with the madam. And that's why she was sent back home to Kenya. And so she was just trying to connect also with another family to go. So I told her I don't have money. She told me no problem for money. I'll ask my boss. I'll talk to them, and then I'll get back to you. After a few days, they sent around, because already we were 3 girls, they sent around 33,000 to do the process for visa and passport, for passport. So we applied for passports, and within 1 week, our passports were ready. And the following week, we traveled. It was so quickly. Then we traveled, we reached there, it was around at night. And we were divided, 3 of us. Like, we reached the airport. There was an Indian driver who came for us. We were lost at first because we thought someone will be waiting for us.
Or like in the movies with your name?
Oh, I was like, sorry, Julia, you didn't know what you're signing up for. We went there, and then he was like, let me see your passport, because he doesn't speak English so well. And then, you. And then he took the passport from the airport.
Into his possession?
Yeah.
Your passport?
Yeah, all of us, 3 of us. And then told us go inside the car, and then because it was from Sharjah to Dubai. And then we went. We reached there. This one girl, we dropped her first to another family, and then another one, and then I was the last one. I reached there, I found my madam was waiting for me, my boss, with two daughters.
How old were the daughters?
First one was 22 years, and then the small one was 2 months. So I was like, there's a big gap.
Big gap, yeah. And how old were you at that time?
At that time, I was 22.
Okay. So same age as the daughter?
Yeah. And then she told me, this is my daughter, and we were waiting for you. You ate something? I told her no. We went to the kitchen. She like fried some few eggs, and she gave me with very dry Arabic bread. I was like, what is this? I just ate eggs and I left this because I didn't know what to do with it. It looks like chapati, but it's very thin and very dry.
Yeah.
I ate, and then she gave me water, and she told me, this is your room, you will sleep there. And then she left. She told me, come, take your bag. I took my bag, I went to the room. Everything was there. And then in the morning, She told me, morning, you will see more children. More children, I have many.
Oh, so it's not just the two that you met.
No, she told me, morning, you will see all. Now, all sleep, because she doesn't speak English. She was from Saudi, so she doesn't speak English. So the daughter was translating. So, and then she was translating in a funny way. So in the morning, shock on me. There are 8 more kids.
Children? Age, between which ages?
The firstborn was 24, a boy, and he was married.
And lived there with his wife?
Yeah.
And children?
They didn't have
kids.
Yeah. So the firstborn was there with the wife, and then the lastborn was this one, 2 months. All through they are there, all 10 of them.
And you?
I was alone.
By yourself in a house?
Yeah,
10 people. Alone. I'm sure the house must have been huge.
Yeah, they have big houses, very big. So I didn't know. I thought I came late. I will sleep until late. I was woken up by a very big bang. Boom, boom, boom. Julia, sleep now, sleep. You can't sleep. And you know, it's my first day now. Now, 6 o'clock, children already late. Driver waiting outside. I told her, I don't know what to do. You don't know? Where you eat yesterday is kitchen. You go there, prepare everything. There is no like orientation, this is what you should do, nothing. She's like, you don't know you came to do this, you should know what you are supposed to do. I told her I was not working as a housemaid back at home, so you need to show me. She was very mad, and the whole day she was so mad at me, and it's the first day. Because
probably that's not what she had been told as well. She had been told
I think so. But I didn't go with agency. No, it was this, the Friends connection.
Right.
So she told me, okay, you will be waking up at 5 because kids are supposed to be picked up at 6. So you wake up at 5 and you sleep at 11, or it doesn't depend, because weekends, sometimes even 2.
Because they are up late.
Yeah, weekends they go out until late, sometimes up to 3, sometimes up to 4. So weekend, you're not guaranteed what time you will sleep.
So generally, if you had to sum up your working experience for them, how would you describe it?
It was hectic because of kids. Because, you know, the kids, they're not like our African kid, like they're well behaved. Then the kid will tell you anything and you will not say anything. You have to just shut up. You won't answer back. And the salary with all those 10 kids and cooking, I used to cook, I used to wash the whole house, the whole compound. It was just a big mansion. It was 800.
800
dirhams. That's like, shillings? That is 18,000.
18,000. And did she pay you your money?
Yeah, she used to give me. Yeah, money she used to give me at the end of the month, but I can't send it at home. So she has to send it on your behalf. Yeah. So she was sending it at home. Yeah, you give the details, they go and send for you, because you can't go out. I used not to have no off days, no nothing. No friends. No friends. So it was nothing. Just work, even phone was like it was problem. So after a while, I told her I will not make it alone. I have to look for someone else. She told me, if you have someone else, you can bring. I organized for a friend of mine, and I lied to her. She told me, if it's not your sister, no coming. If you're a young person and this is something that you're considering, well, you've heard from my guests, it's not always a bed of roses. Remember, you can always join the conversation via the hashtag #RealTalkWithTemima. Let me know what your views, comments, and feedback are on today's topic. We'll be taking a very quick break. Don't go too far.
At the end of the day, sleeping in a house with 11 women in the house was a bit of a challenge.
Not that you signed to be a carpenter. When you land in Dubai, you are a watchman.
Hey, can you send me the contract first? So once you get the contract, you realize that it's a fake contract.
Welcome back to Real Talk. Now, our conversation on today's topic, working abroad, trapped, exploited, and abused, continues Obviously, different people have different experiences. We're just trying to raise awareness so that if you're thinking about working abroad, you can know what the options are. And of course, keep yourself safe, know what your rights are, and ultimately know what your human rights are. Very important thing to actually be aware of. So right now, I want to introduce my next guest, who is Kennedy Ongeri. So Kennedy, like our previous guest as well, has worked in Dubai for the last 10 years, I believe.
Yes, yes.
And yours mostly has been a positive experience.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay,
It
so
has been a positive one.
before I come to you, I just want to take a poll with my audience. How many people would love to work abroad, either in Dubai or any of the Middle East countries? Show of hands. Okay. So probably let me just hear from like 2 or 3 of you. What's the appeal?
Okay, thank you, Tamima. My name is Lydia. I would love to work to Dubai because they earn a lot of money and, of course, get to travel.
Okay. Do you agree with the statement that people who work abroad, Dubai, UAE, you earn a lot of money?
Not really. Depends with the career, I can say.
Julie?
You're doing. And also that traveling, maybe traveling from Kenya to Dubai, if you mean that. Yeah.
Anyone else? Let me hear from someone else. Why do you love the idea of working in Dubai or any of the Arab countries? Stand on up, please.
Thank you, Tamima. I'm Quinto David by names, and I will prefer to work in Dubai because in Kenya, finding a job that pays you over 15K is such a hectic.
Do you guys agree with that statement?
Yes.
Anyone else? Let me hear a final person. I'm seeing, my dear, you really raised your hand. Can she be given the microphone?
I would like to work in Dubai because of the opportunities.
Which opportunities?
Like getting opportunities is quickly rather than in Kenya. You'll just be behind scenes for a very long time before you get to where you want to be.
Okay, it's important to just understand what most young people's perspective is on this topic. I have with me Teresia, who works with KOTU. She's a legal official on labor issues at KOTU. I have Sophia Wanjahi. She is from Kuteya, an organization that helps individuals transition back. If you've worked abroad, probably it was not as good as an experience as they would have hoped. So how do you transition back, dealing with the trauma and everything? Then we have Clement as well, legal expert on migration laws, as well as Malachi Amenya. So they're going to be putting a lot of issues into perspective for us. But I want to go back to Kennedy here, because Kennedy, you mentioned that your experience has been both negative and mostly positive. So maybe let's start with the drawbacks.
Okay, thank you, Tamima. What I can say is when I left Kenya to Dubai, I was working with Bata Kenya. And by then, my wife now was my girlfriend, then had left for Dubai. So she lured me to leave for Dubai. Actually, I didn't have any thoughts of leaving Kenya. So when I left, I got there, and something that got me out of the normal life that I used to is getting to share a house with ladies.
So the bed space.
Yeah, the bed space.
Like
so,
Julia mentioned. So hers was sharing with men, yours is now sharing
now
with
was
ladies.
sharing with ladies. So I got in a house, 11 ladies, and I was the only guy. Sleeping with ladies, it was a bit difficult, a bit challenging. More so where I come from Kisii. So Kisii, we respect women. So at the end of the day, sleeping in a house with 11 women in the house was a bit of a challenge. I was lucky then that all of them, they once worked with my wife. So it was easy for me to cope up with them, and now they were helping me out, apply for jobs. But then those days when we went there in 2009, Wi-Fi and WhatsApp was not something that was normal, common in Dubai. So Wi-Fi was not there. You had to walk for a distance of around 30 minutes to get the nearest cyber to do the applications. So that's what we used to do. So in the evening when the ladies come in, I'll leave.
To give them time to...
Yeah, prepare themselves, do what they want to do, watch the movie. I go do the online applications and then come back home probably past around midnight.
Do you agree with the statement that it's easier for a young person to get a job in Dubai than it is in Kenya?
It's easy and it's difficult.
Because they seem to think it's easier. That's the
It
impression you're
depends.
leaving on them.
What
It
I can
depends
say
with
is,
you.
at the moment, it's a bit challenging in Dubai. I'll be honest. I've seen many Kenyans come in and leave without a job. Some of them are coming 2 or 3 times and they don't get any job, even a 500 dirham paying job. So it's not an easy road because at the moment the market is not that good, and Ugandans have taken over the market. Yeah.
Okay, so probably basing off both your experiences, because you bring in a male perspective, she brings in a female perspective, and we have a room full of young people that they want to go to Dubai, Cindy. You want to work abroad. So we have experts, we have Teresia, we have Sophia, we have Clement. So probably, what are some of the common mistakes that people make? Let's start from there. Because earlier on when we had Primrose's story, when we had Rose's story, there was a recurring thread whereby if you work with the agencies, how sure are you that the job that you're being promised is what you'll end up doing? So let me throw that to Teresia from Kotu.
Thank you, Tamima. Sorry, I have a cold, but I hope I'm audible enough. Basically, indeed, that is a very big challenge. And if you look at the migration process as a whole, it is quite diverse and quite challenging. That actually from the end of Tuco-Kenya, we're engaging the government to take the series of the issue of labor migration very seriously. Because quite often you find there is mismatch in the nature of work. For example, most of the contracts that are signed within our country pre-departure are not honored upon one arriving in the destination countries. We've had experiences shared from various migrant workers across country that, and this is even for the skilled workers, that you leave Kenya as a country, traveling in any of your destination country with hope of probably performing the kind of job that you are performing at home. For example, if you're a hotelier, you expect to go out of the country in relation to maybe do hotel work. If you're a teacher, to go do teaching work. If you're a nurse, probably to go and work in a hospital. But it turns out that where our government has not been involved right from the recruitment process, probably you have sought the job for yourself or through an agent that I will say is fake. Because if it is a genuine agent, then it should look into your terms and conditions of service, even in the countries of destination. But here you find the nature of contract you sign at home and the kind of work that is indicated in the contract that you're signing. Upon arrival in the destination countries, most of the time it is not honored. And looking back, we feel as a labor organization that we have very potential Kenyans who are going out there in the name of looking for greener pastures who end up being exploited.
Yeah. Anything else?
What I can advise is at least if you have a friend who lives in Dubai or who resides in the Middle East, I can advise that you can check out with them because sometimes they'll have some advice that you missed out on the contract. I've had friends who have fake contracts calling me and telling me, Kennedy, I got a job paying me 500,000 shillings. I'm coming next week and hey, can you send me the contract first? So once you get the contract, you realize that it's a fake contract. So you have to tell them, in a good way that, hey, take it slow. This is a fake contract. You're going to be conned at the end of the day.
So thank you so much. Now remember, as always, you can get back to us via the hashtag #RealTalk with Tamima on your feedback on today's topic. Obviously, this is a wide topic that we cannot exhaust in this one sitting, and you can feel free to reach out to any of the organizations that we have used within this episode. Well, that's it from me. Until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Real Talk.
Special thanks to E Plus for medic and ambulance services.